Ukrainian soldiers, acting on incoming intelligence, advance toward a designated point in the Avdiivka sector of the Donetsk region in a Bradley armored vehicle. As the vehicle approaches the area, Russian forces detect the movement and immediately launch an attack. As soon as the Bradley stops, Ukrainian infantry quickly dismount. They spread out in small groups and begin infiltrating the area. Their goal is to secure advantageous positions before the fighting fully begins. Meanwhile, Russian artillery opens fire heavily. Despite consecutive explosions, their rounds fail to hit the targets, either falling outside the area or missing the advancing Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian soldiers continue to advance according to plan, despite the artillery fire.
Да, идем.
The Russians' inability to score hits allows the Ukrainian units to reposition and approach the area more safely.
Ох, нихуя!
The M2A2 ODSSA Bradley, assigned to the 47th Mechanized Brigade, takes up position after disembarking its personnel and begins firing at the Russian positions ahead. Once the fighting begins, Russian forces start sending reinforcements. 2 BTR-82A armored personnel carriers carrying soldiers move toward the front lines. As they advance without slowing down, the Ukrainian M2A2, Bradley positioned nearby, immediately engages, firing on the approaching APCS. The first target is the lead carrier. Bradley's rapid fire quickly neutralizes it, halting its movement. As the first APC is hit, the remaining Russian soldiers try to react, but Bradley immediately targets the second vehicle's subsequent fire, disables it as well. With both vehicles immobilized, the Russian crews quickly open the hatches and exit, spreading out to seek cover. However, the loss of their carriers significantly disrupts their advance. The BTR's design is based on an outdated platform from the 1950s. Without major upgrades to the engine, transmission, and chassis systems, additional armor cannot be added. While this makes the vehicle fast and maneuverable in light engagements, it is vulnerable against modern platforms like the Bradley. In this clash, Bradley's accurate fire leaves the BTRs defenseless. A Ukrainian M2, Bradley, patrolling a southern sector, spots a Russian tank ahead. Once the tank's position is fixed, the Bradley crew quickly prepares a Tau-2 guided anti-tank missile. The Russian tank, unaware of the movement around it, is not in a defensive posture. The Tau-2 missile launches from the Bradley and travels directly to the target. By the time the tank detects the incoming missile, it is too late to maneuver. The missile penetrates the armor, and the tank is rendered completely inoperable within moments. Some Russian BMPs that had remained stationary in the area are detected by Ukrainian forces. The Ukrainian Bradley opens fire on one of the BMPs, successfully destroying it. Ukrainian infantry continues to fight in the area. The distance on the front line has closed significantly, making close quarters combat inevitable. This results in intense and striking engagements. The Ukrainian soldiers maintain constant fire pressure against Russian troops who are pinned down, preventing them from retreating. They change positions frequently to maintain their advantage and keep control over the locations held by the enemy. Ukrainian M2A2. Bradley vehicles continue providing suppressive fire in the area when one of the vehicles, moving out of a wooded section, comes into contact with an AP mine. The explosion creates a strong shock under the vehicle. However, the Bradley reactive armor tiles absorb most of the blast, preventing the vehicle from becoming fully inoperable. Despite the explosion, it is reported that the crew inside the vehicle is unharmed. Although the crew experiences a brief jolt, the armor package ensures the interior integrity remains intact. As the Ukrainian infantry, having completed their mission, move toward the designated extraction point, they come under attack by Russian forces. 2 ATGMs and a mortar round are fired at the evacuation vehicle in quick succession. The vehicle avoids all 3 threats without taking damage and successfully withdraws from the conflict zone. This is made possible by both the crew's quick reactions and the effectiveness of the vehicle's defensive systems. At this point, it is important to mention the Iron Fist system. For those unfamiliar, Iron Fist is an active protection system developed by Israel. It is designed to detect and counter a variety of threats such as rocket-propelled grenades, anti-tank guided missiles, high-explosive rounds fired by tanks, and kinetic penetrators. Once it detects an incoming threat, the system activates and launches an explosive interceptor. This interceptor does not use a fragmentation warhead. Instead, it creates a purely explosive effect, designed only to neutralize the target. This method minimizes collateral damage to nearby troops and civilians while stopping the threat. The second Bradley, while attempting to leave the area, comes under a series of attacks. After taking several hits, the vehicle eventually becomes immobile and completely disabled. Despite this, it is confirmed that the crew inside survived. Shortly after, a third Bradley arrives at the location. The crew is quickly evacuated, and all personnel are safely extracted from the area. When the overall outcome of the clash is evaluated, the ambushed Ukrainian forces manage to withdraw with only a single vehicle loss. The likelihood of later recovering the disabled Bradley is also considered high. This success is largely due to the Ukrainian units' coordinated communication and disciplined execution during the evacuation. After safely extracting the infantry from the area, Ukrainian forces launch a new operation, targeting Russian troops scattered and hiding in nearby villages. The goal is to prevent retreating Russian elements from regrouping and to completely eliminate their presence in the region. In this operation, a Ukrainian Bradley and an Abrams tank move together. The simultaneous advance of the 2 vehicles toward Russian positions makes it extremely difficult for the enemy to establish any kind of defense. Abrams' heavy firepower, combined with Bradley's faster reaction capability, nearly eliminates the possibility of Russian forces holding the ground. A major Russian weakness becomes clear at this point: the lack of anti-tank weapons. The absence of Manpats-class systems like the Javelin, capable of locking onto a target, shows how poorly equipped Russian troops are in the area. With only RPGs remaining, their chances of delivering a critical hit from a few hundred meters away are almost non-existent. This is not the kind of engagement where one can simply aim and fire. Striking an armored target requires the right angle, the right distance, and precise timing. Under normal conditions, the use of ATGMs by Russian forces would have been an advantage. But in this scenario, that is also impossible. Once distances close, an anti-tank missile requires a certain safe arming distance and proper positioning to fire. Otherwise, even the soldier launching it could be at risk. This issue largely comes down to training levels. It is well known that Russian soldiers on the ground tend to be poorly trained. Because of this, Ukrainian units understand that when they take initiative and apply rapid pressure during an assault, their chances of achieving results are very high. 2M2. Bradley infantry fighting vehicles continue providing suppressive fire toward the area where Russian infantry is hiding. The goal is twofold: to reveal the enemy's positions and to create a safe lane for the approaching Ukrainian infantry. At first, the Bradleys conduct light reconnaissance fire to gauge the enemy's reaction. At this stage, they assess whether Russian forces are taking positions, retreating, or returning fire. However, vehicle fire alone is not enough to fully secure the area. Infantry must be deployed to complete the operation. For this reason, one of the Bradleys stops at a suitable location and dismounts its soldiers. The infantry quickly takes up positions and begins advancing in coordination with the Bradley tactically. Clearing the area where the Russians are hiding is essential, making this stage one of the most critical parts of the engagement. The other Bradley maneuvers to the flanks, providing cover for the advancing infantry. This not only prevents potential counterattacks, but also ensures continuous fire support. The coordinated movement of both vehicles and infantry makes it difficult for the Russian forces to establish a defense, allowing the area to come under Ukrainian control quickly. Thank you for watching.